Okay everyone, it's Judy back from my scrapbook loft, and we're going to do a little more today. What I'm doing is I'm trying to do 15-minute videos. It seems easier to do it that way, it seems. And I wanted to tell you all on this box, you notice these papers are thin. It's like they're part of the box. They're real thin papers, and they've carried the color. They've not really used a base, except for inside they use the pink base. But the reason I'm going to use the white as my base is because the paper I'm using is a heavy cardstock, and I'm afraid that if I use it in the hinges here where it turns like that, it'll make my box be out of shape. I'm afraid it'll make it wider this way, and then my lid won't fit. That's why I'm using this white cardstock. So if you have thin paper, really thin paper, you could use it. I have thin paper, but I don't like it. Let me show it to you. It's kind of masculine-y paper. But it's really thin. But it's well, let's see. My guest bedroom is in red and white anchored with black. I could probably use this red paper. Nah. I want to use the Maggie Home, so I'll use the white paper as my base. Okay, let's tape this white paper together. I'm going to use 1/2 inch on it. Whoops. Well, I'm all thumbs this evening. And I cheat. I'm going to make me a line to lay my paper on because I am not a good eyeballer at things. And I make that's 1/2 inch tape, so I'm going to make that about a 5/8 inch in like that. And I'll take this tape off. Then I'll get my glue. Run it on the other 1/8 inch. There. Now I have a line to line my paper up on. Burnish it down. Burnish it down. Lay my lid on here. And I always put this seam on a straight, you don't want it near these hinges. You want the seam elsewhere. So we'll put it right there on the back part. Don't have much to put in, do we? Let's put it on the back. Nope, I'm going to put it right there, because that's the way I want it. I'm going to cut that much off of that end. There we go. See where that line is that I drew is right off the edge of that hinge there about. Let's make it about a ½ inch or so. There we go. And that'll give us about an inch to turn down there. Cut that off. Alright, now we're going to put tape on our lid. You just want to burnish your tape real good. And I'm going to take this one off. This is the best little tool to take that off with. As you can see, I've had it for a long time. This is actually my second one. It's just a pair of tweezers that stays closed like that, and you squeeze on it like that, and it just slides right under that tape. So easy. Gets hold of it, and you just close it up and pull it off of there. Now I'm going to use my 1/4 inch tape to go around the very edges, like this. And I go down beside each one of these hinges so the paper will stick and it doesn't buckle out. I don't like for it to buckle out. this tape off of here and throw it away. I'm going to put some glue right here where I didn't put any tape because I don't want any buckling on the paper. And I'm just going to eyeball where I want to put it. Burnish that down. Okay. Now this, you're supposed to put this down and take a craft knife and cut it, but I found an easier way to do it. This is a corner, helps you set your corners up the way you want them. Let's line mine up here. Draw it on there. This is a whole lot easier than getting the craft mat and the craft knife and all that stuff, so I'm just trying to give myself a general idea on this corner here. Just throw all this tape away. Another thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to do an inch this way. Now that I've got that cut off. And an inch this way. I like to try to do an inch overhang when you can, but when your books, this is 11 and 3/8 or 1/8, I can't remember which. You don't have much room on a 12-inch sheet of paper. I set a timer so that I wouldn't go over my time. I have a couple of minutes. I'm going to just cut this in at an angle like that. Let's see how that does. Yeah, I think that'll work. Okay. Then I'm going to take my bone folder and I'm just going to go along the edge of this and put a crease in this paper along the edge of it. Okay. And then I'm going to start bending. Get it started bending up. Alright. We're going to do the sides first since they are so narrow. We're going to use the 1/4 inch tape. Right on the edge of your chipboard. I may go 30 minutes. I may just go 30 minutes here. See if YouTube will let me do that. 7:13. We finally got to take the motorcycle out today. It's the first time I've been on it this year. It's been so rainy here in Kentucky, we haven't been able to do anything. Got up to 89 today, so we took the bike and rode over to Natural Bridge in Slade, Kentucky. And we left around 10 o'clock this morning and got back about 4:45. We had a really good day. You want to turn that in and turn that one in. I didn't want to put this seam on this back piece back here because that's where those hinges are going to have to go for the boxes that fold out, and that was going to make it too thick. That's why I put it up on the top. Now let's do the end. And I always leave about 1/8 of an inch here because when you put your other paper on, you don't want your tape to show. That's why you have glue. And I just put some tape under that corner and there and there. Get me a rag. I never throw my husband's old t-shirts away. 100% cotton, you know, Fruit of the Loom. They make great rags for glue. Now, let's see, I can't remember how I did. I think it's that way. And we're just going to glue that one. Pull on it real tight. Okay. Now, tape. If you don't burnish that down, you'll have air bubbles, and it will turn loose. How pretty that corner turned out. The only thing about that glue and that tape seems to get on the table. And there is the lid covered. And we're ready to put our panels on. Let's see if we have time to do that. 7:19. Okay, let's work on the panels.